All right, bro. I think we live. I'm pretty sure.
About time.
I would just like the record to reflect that we had an equal amount of technical difficulties. So I take 100%.
No, I take 50%. I'll take 50 and you take 50. How about that?
That's fair.
All right.
Brian, I'm so glad you're with me today.
It's be still to the rest of the world, but you know,
I know. Go way back. I'm gonna try Be Still. Let's go with Be Still. I don't know how good I'll be at it, but I will try.
You're gonna slip. It's all
I know
good.
it. I know it. But it's always good to. What'd you say?
I had to have that conversation with my mother. If you ever had to have a conversation with the person who named you,
let me just explain. I have that all the time. My name is spelled, as you well know, Caarne.
Yeah.
But it's pronounced Charnay. Yeah. So this whole evolution of Charnay by Grace is a fundamental problem for my own mother. So, but she can work that out with God because I need for people to pronounce my name right. So
that's right.
So we're going with Be Still. We're going with Be Still tonight. So I want to welcome everybody to the Grace.SPOT. I'm Charnay by Grace, and I'm here with my friend, my childhood friend and classmate, Be Still, Brian Scott, Buffalo style, nappy roots, everything. Be still. Yeah. And I'm just grateful. I am actually here by grace because in spite of it all, we still made it on live. And I have been kind of asking him to do this with me for a while. And we have been trying to coordinate, and it's really been on me, but he's been patient and great because he has a new project coming out, and we're going to get to that in a second. He's a busy man, family, just like me, so we're going to get on with it. So what I want to start out by saying is thank you for being here. I count it a privilege.
It's my pleasure.
And I don't think we can underestimate how precious these moments are in life where we can actually see individuals that we share desks with and buses with, and we saw the evolution come to life. And just to interview you and, you know, see what God has done with you is pretty amazing. The fact that, you know, I can be connected to not just you, but individuals like you that constantly are feeding good things into my life across a lifespan. And so I thought it would be great to have you as my first evening guest on the Grace.SPOT. Brian and I grew up in the same neighborhood, kinda. He moved out a little earlier than I did, but grew up in the same place, hometown, Louisville, Kentucky. I'm gonna let him get into all of that. But my favorite memories of Be Still, lift up again, I messed it up, I'm working on it. My favorite memories are you rapping. Oh my God. Like, I don't ever remember you not doing it.
Yeah. We was in an era where, you know, it was like 3 rappers in the whole school, you know what I'm saying? And now it's 3 people who don't rap in the whole school. Everybody else raps and sings nowadays, you know. So I don't know. It's been a long journey. The Lord ain't done with me yet. That's a fact.
That's true too.
So you know, it's been a great journey, and being able to take this high school and middle school journey and pretty much the fame that came with, you know, doing the announcements and pep rallies and all that cool stuff, you know, that I got to do as a kid, kind of prepared me for doing the stuff in real life as a professional. So, you know, we just stuck with it. You know, God's grace brought me through. That's
and we're going to talk about grace. We're going to talk about grace. I want to give you a minute just to kind of flesh out Nappy Roots, because what I do remember specifically is you always having a thing. Mm-hmm. It was always like you knew who you were and you knew what you wanted. And I know you didn't completely know. I don't think any of us did, but you knew you wanted to do music and you stuck with it. And it was clear from the very beginning that something great was going to happen in your life. You could either believe it or not, but it was clear. And I kind of want to take it from from that point where,
Okay.
you know, we were kids and in middle school and high school and the pep rallies and, you know, because music was my life also for a very
Right.
long time. And so what happened? Like what evolved into Nappy Roots? Let's do that before we get into Grace.
You know what's so crazy? Now I'm sitting here thinking about it because I was in that I was on Noreen. I was living in Newburgh on our street up to like half of my freshman year. That's when I moved on the other side of Newburgh, close to the Highlands. But it was right in front of your house. You didn't even know because your mama didn't let you out the house. Everybody knows that. Everybody know that, but it's all good.
It's all good. We're not going there tonight.
We ain't gonna go there. But this happened right in front of your house. It was my friend LaFerris Edwards. We called him Bruh Beatty. And of course, Maurice, you know, everybody was on the block. Everybody was right there on that where the curve is, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're talking about. Right off of Carolyn Way.
No. This is when Noreen, and then it curved into, you know, the apartments and all that stuff.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's where you lived at. Of course you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was exactly where you live. And we had a group of people like huddled up. And I ran over there. I was like, I didn't know, was they fighting? I didn't know what was going on. So I ran over there and I looked in the middle of the circle and it was Bruh Beatty and Maurice. Maurice was on a bicycle. Bruh Beatty was on the handlebars and they was just sitting there. Maurice was beatboxing and Bruh Beatty was just spouting lyrics off the top of his head, looking in the sky, just rapping about everything that he saw. And everybody was around him just bopping like, and that was the first time I had ever been in what they call a cipher, you know, now. But, you know, this was early. This was 90s. You see what I'm saying? So, and when I was listening for a little while and it just, something hit me right there. And I ran home. I literally ran back to my house.
Wow.
Went to my room, got a notebook and a pen, and that's how my journey started as a rapper. Right there in front of your house. You didn't even know it.
Wow.
I don't know what you was doing that day.
Charnay making history.
Yeah.
Probably praying.
You. No, I'm just playing. Huh?
Probably praying. I've been doing that a long time. But so, I think that that's interesting. So how did that moment on the block get you to the studio or to Nappy Roots? What exactly happened from that point? Because I can name a lot of times and I can remember seeing you and it was like that became your whole thing. Like if that wasn't what you were doing, you weren't doing anything else.
I was doing it in school. I was like, I was in math class, you know, supposed to be doing my homework or classwork, and I'm writing rhymes. I'm on the bus. I'm writing rhymes. That's it's just kind of like I said, at that moment, something bit me. And the game was just kind of injected in me. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do, you know? And I made up my mind. So the next day I brought all the little raps that I wrote to Bruh Beatty. I walked it to his crib and he was like, well, spit something. So I rapped, and of course it was probably whack for real. You know, everybody's first rap is whack. But so and then I just kind of started going up to his apartment on Wooded Way down the street, and we were just making beats, making songs, and then a project came about, and he produced my first mixtape, and it was on from then. So
that had to been like 96, 97?
No, this was, God.
Maybe 94-ish?
No, it's 91.
Really?
91, yeah. This was
wow.
Like right after the breakdance era. Like this was, you know what I'm saying? This was like hip hop era. And so like, cause we graduated in 97. I was a seasoned vet, you know what I'm saying? I hate to say my age, but.
No, I know, I already know this. This I know.
Yeah. In 97, so fast forward, boom, okay, got the tape out. I started, my father, who played a huge role in my development, Sam Scott, uh, and quite frankly, a lot of other major artists that's come out of the city of Louisville as well. They were managed by my father. Nobody really
I didn't know that.
I know you don't, but I mean,
that's what's up.
From Bryson, you know, to Lincoln Bridge, you know, when they were young kids, needing somebody to give them a start, buy studio time, hook them up with producers, shoot a video for them. My father like handpicked certain people who he felt like had some talent, and lo and behold, you know, the future kind of proved that he had a good eye, because these same people, including me, went off and you know, made some good music and made some history.
Say your father's name again.
Sam Scott.
Sam Scott.
Yes.
I do not want anybody to leave this and not remember that name. That's what's up. And your dad was an officer?
Yeah, he was an officer. Yeah. He was in military. He was a stand-up dude, and you know, it wasn't a lot of them in the neighborhood at all. You know what I'm saying? As far as us growing up, so he was the neighborhood pops. You know what I'm saying? And I was always like, man, like he make me go out here, cut the grass. I got to do all this other stuff, jump on, you know, clean gutters. And, you know, I was like, I just want to go out here and kick it with my friends. And because they didn't have their father to really kind of show them how to use chainsaws and, you know, change oils, you know, all the stuff that we went through. And so all my homies would come to my house and they would love kicking it with, you know, my father.
With your dad.
I couldn't get it, but as I grew up, I realized why. You get what I'm saying? Like he was a male role model, positive male role model in the neighborhood. So he did a lot for the youth music scene in the city of Louisville. He's one of the best kept secrets that nobody really knows about. But I'm going to change that real soon. We'll get into that a little later.
Yeah, well, I actually find that to be incredible. You talking about your dad, because one thing I know to be true about Grace is I think we were all cut from the same cloth. And I have this analogy, I use it from time to time. When you're cut from the same cloth, it's always good to be cut from the same boat too. And I think that, you know, the difference is you can have the same type of material, but it can have a different give to it if it's cut from a different boat. What I love about where we're from, we were really blessed to attend the schools that we attended. I feel like our parents had a hand in that. They worked really hard. And when we get into thinking about how we're living on Grace, I think it started back then, because I know my mom had to volunteer at TMS to get me in. And I met our friend Antonia the year I went to TMS, because I didn't go to TMS until 7th grade. So for me, it was like, you didn't go to 7th grade either, because you couldn't get in. Yeah, you had to like fight to get into that place, and we had to fight to stay. And everybody didn't make it, you know? And so, you know, if you couldn't get into a private school, or you couldn't get into, you know, the type of school that I think our parents wanted us to go to, male was going to be the goal. And a lot of sacrifice came. People moved, like, you know, my parents moved to have that opportunity. And so I want you to talk about for a little bit, now that we're kind of moving into Grace and moving into how God has been directing your life. When did you realize for the first time, like, I know this is happening by God's grace?
The first time I guess I kind of realized it. I guess it maybe hit me when that record deal came, you know, because before then it was like everybody was like, yeah, but what are you really gonna do when you grow up? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like, no, I'm gonna be a rapper. You feel me? For my whole life.
Like, I'm gonna really be a rapper.
Yeah, then you're like, nah, okay, cool. That's all right, but
yeah,
you know, that's not realistic. And so having that all the way through, even up to even college, you know. Now I did have a strong support system with my friends in high school, and you know, people believed in you, but you know, you just had a talent, and to be able to take this as a profession, you know, that's like, okay, that's
something different.
A little too.
I got
too
you
far. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody, I'm on my phone. But
it's
self-doubt creeps in, right?
Yeah.
So you got self-doubt creeping in. You got your friends and your family kind of saying, you know, you're good, but let's have a backup plan. Let's make sure, you know, just in case this don't go down. And, you know, the doubt creeps in and you start even doubting yourself. Yeah. And so, but when you just keep pursuing it, you just kind of going in the path that God laid out for you. And things tend to happen when you're walking in that path. So
and it kind of sounds like a calling.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And that was on you. I see that.
Right. Because I felt like I was good. I mean, you know, as a kid, I was like, every song I make is a hit. And then when you get people saying, nah, you know, when you get out of the studio, that's when reality is. You know, in the studio, it's you the man, you know, or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
Everything.
Yes. Oh, this song was crazy. It's gonna go #1 Billboard, Grammys. But then you let the world hear it, and it's like, bro, that's kind of garbage. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, you know. So it affects you mentally, you know, and you got to be a strong person to fight through that and continue down that path. So to me, I think when that record deal finally hit, it was justification and let me know that, you know, man, I mean, I'm doing the thing that I was put here to do.
Wow, that's a purpose-driven life. So in my opinion, that kind of takes you out of just thinking about favor and God being good. It's more like unmerited favor, which is basically like, I could not earn this. Right. And I just want to get real with you. Be still. Okay. I want to get real because I think at some point we get to an end of ourselves. Yeah. And, you know, when it's good, it's good. You know, I've had it good in my life. I have been blessed. I'm connected to the best people. I've had a great education. I've lived in the best cities. But at some point, you realize that, you know, yeah, it's favor, but it's unmerited, something that I did not earn. That's and right. So I'm wondering, like, have you ever had those moments in life where, you know, you weren't exactly doing the right things, or you might not have been thinking the right way, but God was still kind of behind you, pushing you?
Every day, you know.
Like right now. I mean,
for real. You know, I definitely was not a saint. I'm not a saint. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. Some things I feel like, you know, sometimes I do wake up and be like, man, you know, why me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it has to be, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So I know I didn't earn this. You get what I'm saying? I know that.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the times when I just tell people, like, I tell people all the time, you know, people may or may not believe in luck, but I feel like I do say that it's luck, but it really is not luck. It's unmerited favor. You get what
That's I'm saying? Exactly like, what it is.
Yeah. So, but I was there though. I was able to be present. Now, that's what kind of I do have a saying that I live by. It's called "Luck favors the bold," and that's like a quote that, you know, I'll always live by that because it's true. And if you go to these places, if you are physically present, if you open your mouth and let people know who you are and what you bring into the table, and you're bold in your actions, things tend to go your way. Now, if you sit back and wait for things to may pop up and come your way, or hope that something might go down for you and I'll just be in the crib until it gets a little better. Nah, you know, you probably ain't gonna, you know, get lucky. You get what I'm saying? Wow. Just like being in the casino. I mean, like, you know, if you just kind of timid with your money, most of the time you lose, you know. But when you say, man, I'm putting it all on black, you know,
that's when it comes up.
And you just praying it goes through. It will pop up, you know what I'm saying? And it's just how it is. Luck favors the bold, you know?
Luck favors the bold.
For sure.
Wow. Well, you're speaking into my life because I've always considered myself to be pretty bold. Right. But there's a certain reservation, and I'm just getting into that sweet spot of my life where I feel like, you know, Oprah says that, you know, in your 30s, you try not to make the same mistakes from your 20s, but in your 40s, you don't want to do what you don't want to do anymore. And so you become bolder because you realize you're not doing any of that anymore. And so when you talk about boldness, it makes me think of the music and the business opportunities. And I want you to talk a few minutes about Bird Gang, because before we end, I want to listen to your music, and I want you to tell people about your new music coming out. But talk to me a little bit about what you're doing in conjunction with U of L.
Well, so I mean, I started a company back in 2013. I actually did a song for the university, and this is one of them things again, right? Luck favoring the bold. So me and my homie Clutch, we just in the Yum Center, we watching a game, and it was when the Yum Center first opened up. And so halftime, I was like, I gotta use the restroom. Which way is the bathroom? I don't even know where it's, this is my first time in the Yum Center. So he was like, I think it's this way. And I was like, man, I think it's this way. So I went that way, and he went this way. And then I bumped into somebody who we all, we knew in the past, but I was like, man, the reason, going back just a little quick second, in the games, they have like little contests, like, put 3 songs on the big, what is it called? Jumbotron or whatever, right? And they got A, B, or C, and then they say, do you want to hear, Rolling Stones? And then people, yell, and then do you want to hear Beyonce?
Yeah.
People really, yeah, okay, right? And I'm like, man, what if we can get a Nappy Roots song up here, right? So I'm thinking this in my mind. And so when I run into the guy, right, and I see him, and I said, bro, how do we get on this Jumbotron? Because I know if we just one of the selections, I feel like the crowd will want all know from Nappy Roots. You know what I'm saying? And so he was like, "Yo, my man Dominique, he works for the administration of U of L, brother, and he could hook you up." So he gave me Dominique's number. I called Dominique up, and he was like, and so I told him who I was. I was like, well, I'm just offering some services. Like, what can I do for you guys? And he was like, well, actually, we have a new campaign going called, Louisville First Cars Forever, L1C4, and we looking to spice it up. So maybe you could write a song about it. Say no more, say less. The song was written in about a week. I put together the whole project. Got my friend Brian Fox on it. He played the guitar. We produced the beat from scratch, right? And they played that song on the Jumbotron in the football game. So it worked. It's Grace, right? It happens.
It worked together for the good.
Yes, so luck favored the bold move, right? And so they played that song for like two seasons. And then I was like, how can we promote the song a little more? So long story short, they tell us, well, you need to get a collegiate license before you put the Louisville Cardinal on anything, right, that you sell. So I started doing some research and, going through these contracts and making these phone calls and putting a team together of artists and marketing people and all of this stuff, right? And I said, we can make this happen. And I woke up out of a dream one day, and I said, because I was thinking, what are we going to call this company? And then it hit me, Bird Gang. And we started doing some trademark research and all of that. Ended up getting the trademark, the U.S. trademark for Bird Gang. And so we own that name, right? And we're very successful. We was in the mall, both malls, in all the Krogers across Kentucky and Southern Indiana, all the JD Beckers, the Fan Outfitters. I mean,
let me tell you, it's always on my timeline. Like you never are off my timeline, because even when you're not on, which you're not really like a big social media person, but your stuff is always on. And I know how hard it is to get that stuff trademarked, because I've been in a little bit of everything. Like, I'm finally starting to become an expert at some things, but I'm like you, I've been in a little bit of everything. And I've looked into trademarking Greek stuff. I've looked into trademarking my own stuff, and that junk ain't easy.
No, it's not.
You have to have fortitude to get that stuff done. So to have an entire brand to come out of your legacy, to me, speaks to the value that you have in yourself. And one
No
of the
doubt.
things I want to, I really want to ask you this. Like I have like two more questions, but
Uh-huh.
I've been playing with something. So I know you said no curveballs, and so this is not really a
Here it comes. I
curveball.
knew it.
I
I knew
know
it.
it. I know we always do it, but we're here, and I just feel like I gotta do it. So I've been on this. I've been on this whole kick with dealing with self-love. I
Okay.
think that's why I'm resonating with Grace. And I think, for me and a lot of people that I know, we give a lot of ourselves.
Mm.
And we do it in the name of love because we love people, we love institutions, we love
Right.
ideas. We want to support Black people. We want to support people who look like us, who don't look like us. But one of the issues I have found is that people don't have enough self-love, so they can't love other people.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like you have an inordinate amount of self-love for yourself. I
don't know I don't know how to take that. I guess I'll take that as a compliment, or I don't know.
I don't want you to see it as ego. I don't. It's not ego. You have to have love for yourself.
I'll tell you why, because I came a long way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like I ain't no bad looking guy. You know what I'm saying? God did decent when he molded me, but I was an ugly duckling. I put that out there for the world. I was, I had gaps in my tube. You know what I'm saying? Long arms, no chest. I was just out here bad. You feel me? Nappy hair.
Did you have braces?
I did get braces. I got braces my sophomore year. Yeah. And started playing football, started playing sports, put some meat on my chest, you know what I'm saying? Started growing up, and I came a long way. So I definitely I'm humbled in my ways, but at the end of the day, I have to love what I've transformed into. You get what I'm saying? Because it could have been a lot. It was a lot worse. It could have stayed bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So man, I mean, yeah. So I guess self-love comes with finding out, what you want to be, growing into yourself. And once you're there, you got to love where you're at,
Well, I can see the love that you have for yourself, because to love our city the way that you do and to continue to pour into the lives of the people, young people especially, and give hope, and still at the same time develop yourself, you have to. Because one thing I know about brotherly love, the Bible says that you love God with all your heart, with all your mind, and all your soul, and you love your brother as yourself. But if you don't love yourself, don't love me.
How can you love your brother? Yeah.
So that's kind of how I feel about you and what you've been able to accomplish. So I got just two things I want to say to bridge into the city. And I know I don't want to get too deep, but I just want you to give me your take on the spirit in the city right now. Since we had the Breonna Taylor verdict, and since people have kind of been reeling, I know my family has, my friends, my old colleagues, just people I know in Louisville. How you feel about that?
First of all, my condolences to the Breonna Taylor family, and everybody who knew and loved that woman. And I'm sorry that the city and state couldn't deliver justice, and would rather be on the side of corruption. This has consumed me. This case has really consumed me. I'm not going to get into what I really think and this and that, because we could go on for an hour about this particular subject. But I feel like there is corruption, in the police department. And going back to, my father being a police officer, for 20 something years, he was in an era where they walked the community. They knew everybody in the community. My father worked downtown between, Carter Homes and Southwick. It was one little police station right in between the two projects. So we were down there all the time. But he got with the Black police officers. They ended up, we went on trips together. They took the whole hood to Florida to Disney World as little kids. You know what I'm saying? Wow. The police did that. They created a safe environment that a safe haven people could go to if they didn't feel safe. You get what I'm saying? Now it's the opposite. I don't know what happened, but I saw it change. I saw how it was and how it could be, how police could be, and they were.
Yeah.
Now it's totally different. So we got to get back to, you know, to the human aspect of it and respecting one another. It doesn't matter if somebody committed a crime. It's about the psychology, why they did it. Was it their circumstances, you know, economically, you know, their environment, that whatever it was, something triggered them to commit that crime. Not just because they're an evil person. Sure, that is some people, but for the most part, it's somebody who had to make a decision, you know, to feed their family. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, you know. And so, and so, like, you know, does that person deserve to die? You know, because of that? No, like, that doesn't fix the problem. Even with the prison system and just kind of punishing crime and punishment instead of rehabilitation anymore.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying? Like, that's messed up. So
it's kind of heavy.
What I want to do, this is crazy, but I think with me, I feel like there's some things that I can't change right now. Okay, so there are just some things that I can't change, right, in the city.
Yeah.
But the things that I can, I am. And I feel like the two things are economic status and education. You know what I'm saying? And if we focus on just them two things, I think it will, I guess, it could change a lot. First of all, you're going to move out of the dangerous neighborhoods that you were forced to live in.
Sure.
You are going to want to protect your new place and not destroy it and mess it up and
make better choices, essentially.
Yeah, and you're gonna make better decisions with the education for sure, right? And you're gonna be like, man, you know what? I got to go get up and go to work tomorrow. Like, I can't go out here with you guys tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, education and economic status. And so two things that I'm doing now, real quick. One, I just started a nonprofit. It's called KMD, the Kentucky Institute for Music Industry Development, right? And so what I'm doing is I'm teaching young folks with talent how to become professionals in what they do, right? From songwriting to producing to how to do interviews, how to do videos, you know, who your team needs to be around you. I'm giving people the game because I never had no big brother, really, literally, and in business, because nobody took me and pulled me up on another level. I got it out the mud. You get what I'm saying? And I would rather like be a big brother to these youngins out here. So my nonprofit is up and running. COVID hit, you know, we were looking at properties and buildings, and it's like now so I'm doing a lot of talent coaching online right now, you know.
Okay.
So be on the lookout for that, you know, and that could help change some people's economic status for sure. And then two, education. So I just I linked up with, I just went back to school actually. All right. I didn't finish because studio and touring and all of that.
Now you went to where did you go?
I went to Western.
You went to Western, okay.
Went to WKU, met Natalie Roots, right? And the rest is history. But I was the youngest. I was the last one to join the group, you know, and the guys was there before me. So they were pretty much almost halfway out of school. By the time we got our record deal, I was still a sophomore pretty much. So I told my mother, I was like, I'm going to go out here and jump on this train right now while it's leaving. And she made me promise to get my degree at some point in my life. And I said, yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? But you
whatever you want to tell yourself. Whatever you need to tell yourself.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sure, ma. But she reminded me of that like a few years back, and I was like, you know what? I'm older now. I'm able to do, you know, time management a little better now. And so I joined. I went to U of L, and I ended up getting my degree in organizational leadership. All right. Fast forward. I became student of the year. Look, all this little stuff. Student of the year 2019.
Look at you.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, you know how I was back in school. I ain't care about no school, but I graduated with 3.8. Man, come on, man. Get out of here.
That's what's up.
I ended up getting my story published in this book right here, called Unfinished Business, that you can get, on Amazon or wherever you get your books.
Unfinished business.
And Unfinished Business, compelling stories of adult student persistence. And so, so I was at this book release, and I ended up running into this lady who runs an organization here in Louisville. It's called Work Ready Kentucky, and they do it's free school. They have a scholarship, right? So now I'm on this campaign with these people, right? And so I am promoting basically anybody who hasn't gotten their degree yet. If you want to go out of high school and don't know about what you got to do, don't have the money, don't really know what, man, listen.
You got to stop. Let me just tell you, you got to stop, because stuff like this eats me up.
Yeah.
Your life is so orchestrated. And before I give you the final word, before we listen to your music,
okay,
I have to just say that people don't understand how all things work together for good. I am a highly degree woman. Let me just explain. Highly degree woman. I've been a lot of places, and I'm just getting to the place after this is my 5th degree program.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. And at the end of it, I will be a doctor. However, when I got the tools that I got back in my early 20s, when I got all these degrees, the initial ones, I didn't know how to use them. And it's kind of like the same as David. When David went into battle, he had all this heavy armor on, and he couldn't use it at the time. And of course, he ended up slaying Goliath, and the story goes well. But as he aged, he moved in and matriculated into his armor. And that's what happened. That's what happened to you. And that's what happened to me. Yeah. And that didn't have anything to do with education. That just has to do with timing and growing. And so my grandmother always just says, keep living. Just keep living. Yeah. And you'll see the maturity. So to kind of find this intersection where we can both resonate, I think is remarkable that you're pouring into people, because what happens to you is that as soon as you get it, you got to run with it.
Yeah.
Not like a lot of people. Like, people get tools and they sit and they rust, but when you get it, you run with it. And that's why God has given you this vision. And I speak life over that. And I'm gonna pray for you before you leave. But the last thing I want you to say in brief, I want you to tell any young brother out here listening, because this week is mental illness, it's National Mental Illness Awareness. And if there's a brother out there or a sister who might be suffering from depression, from sadness, from purposelessness, from not believing in themselves, and I know you just gave them like the best adage possible, that luck favors the bold. I will not forget that. Like, I'm writing it down. I'm putting it on my little Post-it wall as soon as we get off of here. But just tell them in brief, what do they need to do, or how can you encourage them to keep going?
Wow. Well, one thing that my mother always told me is it's not the end of the world. And that little quote right there, like when I used to come to her, I'd be like, I went through a whole bunch of stuff as a kid, doing things with my friends, wrong place, wrong time. They got to pick me up from these places, juvenile, this place, get me out of this trouble. And I used to be like, man, I can't call them. I can't call them again. What they gonna disown me? But my mother used to always say, it's not the end of the world. I was 19 when I had my first kid, you know what I'm saying? And I really didn't know what was going on, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they had to tell your parents, and then they, she's like, it's not the end of the world, So that's one thing. It's never as bad as it really seems. And it's always somebody who got it worse, right?
Yes. For sure.
So, man, smile. And there's one thing that a homeless man told me. I was in Chicago, right? And I woke up, I was in a bad mood, had a bad day. I don't know, a bunch of stuff happened to where I was like, this day has to end now. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's horrible, right? And then I'm walking around mad, and then this homeless man, right? No home, no clothes, no phone, no money.
Yeah.
Barely no food, right? Whatever, right? He was like, "What's going on, young brother?" He stopped me. I was like, "Man, I'm just having a bad day, man. It's all good." He wants some money or something. You know, I'm just thinking that's over. He was like, "Nah." He said, "I just want to tell you, man, you can start your day over at any time." I was like, "What?" I was like, "You know what? You're right about that. I'm going to start it over from, okay, boom, all that happened is bad. That's in the past. I'm going to start over right now, right? And then I'm going to take a step forward. Just keep taking steps forward. That's all you got to do, man. Telling you.
I tell my students that all the time. Yeah. Like, it's not even noon, and you talking about the whole day is messed up. Like, I've been up since 5:30, and you talking about the whole day is messed up, and we got like at least 12 more hours in the day? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That is what's up. Well, that's a perfect segue into your song, and I'm gonna play it because if you're gonna start your day over, you better do better.
Yeah, do better.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that, and I'm about to pull it up. Go.
This song, like you said, it's entitled "Do Better." It's off our new album, 40, the number 4, the number 0, RTY, Nappy Roots. It's a green album with a turtle on it, tortoise on it, the tortoise in the hair. Remember that story? But "Do Better" is just a saying that, like, once we came up with this song, I've been hearing everybody saying it now. With the president in the office, with racism at a high point right now, people need to just be like, I can do better. I should do better. I need to do better. And so this song is just a reminder, like, what I'm saying, instead of being like, they take the easy way out and talk bad about this person or, quit and do all whatever. Do better.
Do better. Yeah, please do better.
That's it.
Now, are you second on this song? When are you coming in?
I'm last. I got the last verse. They say
you got the last. You got the last verse, bro. Yeah, I had it like, it just make me upset. I have no idea where to start. You want me to start it from the beginning?
Just play it from the beginning. Yeah, it's all good.
All right.
No curse words in it. I don't believe it's any curse words. I listened to it a few times today. The new video comes out this Friday, actually. So
okay. So I pulled it up on YouTube because I get a better volume here. Is that the okay version to play on the Grace Spot?
For sure.
Okay. Because we ain't gonna tell them about the words I was using before we started.
No, we ain't gonna
everybody's business is nobody's business.
No.
Right. Let me get it going. I really feel kind of like I'm sweating a little bit because I have to be the DJ. Ooh.
You got a lot of jobs over there, but it's all
You do
good.
not want that. Hey, I'm about to give me a whole team. Sound good?
I can't hear it, but I hope the people can. If not, they can always go to YouTube and check it out themselves.
Oh man, the DJ. That's all right. I got one more hope.
It sounds like it's going through one of them clock radio speakers, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, really? It's all good because I'm going to bump it on my timeline all night. Don't even matter.
Yeah. I could do my verse live right here, and then we'll just end it like that. Okay, how about that?
Okay, all right. So what you want me to do? You want me to stop it and let you do your thing?
No, it sounds better right now. Whatever you just
really?
did.
It sounded better the way I had it? Okay.
Right now, though. Now it doesn't. No. You cut it off. I'm gonna just do the verse.
Oh no!
It's all good.
It's all good, bro.
It's on the internet. People need to go check it out. And you can download it, stream it wherever you get your music at. You know what I'm saying? iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora. It's everywhere. Tidal. So just check us out. YouTube.
Yeah, it's high. I've been listening to it all day. And you know what I love about Nappy Roots? It's always deep. And it's always home. So it's for me. It's for me. So go. Let's do it.
In the past, I was a bully. Now I'm trying to be best. Rather do some good business instead of trying to finesse, put my people on, as opposed to getting them on. Trying to right so many wrongs that's been written in stone. Can't erase what happened. All we can control is the present, using different methods. Every day it's all about ethics. Be more empathetic with it. Let my foot off the pedal. Ain't looking for no gold medal. I'm just trying to do better. nappy.
Ooh!
Fit.
Yes!
Bars. Bars.
Bam! Be still in the house on the Great Spot. First evening guest. Amazing. Thank you, brother, so much.
Thank you, sis. Appreciate it.
Keep doing what you're doing, okay?
Will do.
All right, I'm praying for you, and then we out, okay?
All right, let's do it.
Dear God, we thank you for tonight. I am beaming with joy because of my brother. And I just want to say that you have clearly called him to what he does. Every single manifestation in his life is a clear and direct reality of what you are doing with him. And we honor you for that, God. We honor you for his journey. We honor you for his trials. We honor you for his triumphs. We know that he is a Grammy nominated man and he's a part of a group. But God, you have called him as your servant to serve your people, to not just serve Louisville, Kentucky, to not just serve this nation, but this world. There are so many brothers and sisters looking to Brian, to be still, to change the game. And every day he wakes up, he's changing the game. Now, God, I ask that any adversary coming up against him, you will bring it down. We know that there are many weapons formed against us, but they will not prosper. So I speak into his children's life. I speak into his marriage. I speak into his individual walk with you. I speak into Nappy Roots, God. I speak into Bird Gang. I speak into his nonprofit, into his educational pursuits, his books, his dreams. Do better. I speak into that, God. And I ask that you just show us how to support him to do the good that he has been called to do. And Lord, it's been a long journey from Newburgh. We have come a mighty, mighty long way. And we honor you for that. We would not leave this prayer without making sure that everybody knows that we live by grace through faith and not of ourselves. So we do not boast. Any shine that we get, we give it back to you. So we love you. We praise you. We thank you. And we look forward to his victory and the victory in everything he will touch. In Jesus' name, amen.
Yeshua's name, amen. Woo! I'm ready to run through this brick wall right now, man. Oh, that was it. That was everything right there, Sharnae. Thank you. Wow.
No problem. I love you. Do your thing, okay?
Thank you. Love you too. Take care. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye.
Kiss them babies. Bye.
I will do it.